Born in Bristol, England, Cary Grant's early life was shaped by his modest upbringing. His father, Elias, was a textile worker, and his mother, Elsie, was a homemaker. Grant experienced a challenging childhood, especially after his mother suffered from mental health issues, which led to a complicated relationship with his family. Despite these hardships, he found solace in performing. At a young age, he joined a touring theatrical troupe, where he first encountered the world of acting. As he grew older, he moved to America, where his charm and talent caught the attention of Hollywood. Influential figures like director George Cukor recognized his potential and helped him refine his skills. Grant's early exposure to vaudeville and his experiences in theater laid the foundation for his unique style. The combination of his British background and American culture contributed to his iconic persona, making him one of the most beloved actors of his time. Cary Grant was a famous actor known for his charm and talent in classic films. He starred in many popular movies, including romantic comedies and thrillers. Out of the many legendary works Cary Grant has done, which one do you believe defined his career? His performances often showed a mix of humor and sophistication, making him a favorite among audiences. In your view, what makes Cary Grant stand out from his contemporaries in that era? Many people remember him for his smooth style and ability to connect with viewers. We would love to hear your cherished memories or personal experiences related to this classic star. Share your stories in the comments below. Keep watching this video because there are many funny, shocking, and sad facts about Cary Grant coming up. Growing up in Bristol, England, Cary Grant found his passion for acting at a young age. As a boy, he was captivated by the theater. One pivotal moment came when he watched a local performance and felt a thrill unlike any other. The actors on stage seemed to transport the audience into different worlds, and he yearned to be part of that magic. Inspired, he joined a traveling stage troupe at just 14 years old. His early experiences in vaudeville taught him the art of performance, honing his skills in comedy and timing. A memorable anecdote from this time involves him performing a slapstick routine that had the audience roaring with laughter, igniting his desire to pursue acting seriously. After moving to America, he adopted the name Cary Grant and quickly rose through the ranks of Hollywood. Each role he took on fueled his passion further, as he became known for his charm and sophistication. The blend of his early experiences and the thrill of performing created a deep love for his craft that would define his legendary career. Cary Grant stands out as one of the most iconic actors in Hollywood history. His charm and charisma captivated audiences during the golden age of cinema. Grant's ability to blend comedy and drama made him a versatile performer. He starred in many classic films, including North by Northwest, Roman Holiday, and His Girl Friday. His smooth voice and debonair style set a standard for leading men in film. Grant was also known for his impeccable timing and ability to portray both romantic leads and comedic characters. His collaborations with renowned directors like Alfred Hitchcock resulted in some of the most memorable films of his time. Beyond his acting skills, Grant's life story adds to his allure. He overcame a challenging childhood to become a beloved star. His influence continues to be felt in modern cinema, inspiring countless actors. Cary Grant's legacy is celebrated not just for his films, but also for his contributions to the art of acting itself. Facing early challenges, Cary Grant experienced significant financial struggles. Born in England as Archibald Leach, he moved to America with dreams of stardom. However, his journey was not easy. He often found himself without money, taking odd jobs to survive while pursuing acting. The entertainment industry was skeptical of him, doubting whether a man with his background could succeed in Hollywood. Despite these obstacles, he showed remarkable resilience. Grant worked tirelessly to hone his craft, taking acting classes and performing in theater. He embraced opportunities, even accepting small roles in films to gain experience and exposure. Networking with influential figures in the industry helped him build connections that would later prove invaluable. Through determination and creativity, he transformed setbacks into stepping stones. He reinvented himself, adopting a suave persona that captivated audiences. His ability to adapt and overcome the industry's initial doubts paved the way for his eventual success as one of Hollywood's most beloved actors. Cary Grant played Danny Barr in Big Brown Eyes, part of over 700 films produced by Paramount from 1929 to 1949. These films were sold to Mackay Universal in 1958 for television distribution. Universal has owned these films since then. The first broadcast of Big Brown Eyes occurred in Omaha on March 4, 1959. It later aired in other cities, including Phoenix, Milwaukee, and Detroit, throughout 1959 and early 1960. The film was released on DVD as part of Universal's Cary Grant, The Vault Collection in April 2016. In North by Northwest, Cary Grant portrayed Roger Thornhill. He initially wanted Sophia Loren for the role of Eve Kendall, but she declined. Loren later played a similar character in Arabesque, which was inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's work. Gregory Peck was MGM's first choice for Thornhill's role. Cary Grant also starred as C.K. Dexter Haven in the Philadelphia Story. This film is notable for being the only movie where Grant and James Stewart appeared together. Their performances contributed to the film's lasting popularity. Emerging as a leading man in the 1930s, Cary Grant's career began to take off with films like The Awful Truth, which showcased his charm and comedic timing. This film marked a turning point, earning him critical acclaim and establishing him as a romantic lead. His collaboration with director Howard Hawks in Bringing Up Baby further solidified his status, as critics praised his ability to blend humor with sophistication. The 1940s brought even more success with his Girl Friday, where his dynamic chemistry with Rosalind Russell was highlighted, making their performances unforgettable. Grant's role in Notorious alongside Ingrid Bergman showcased his range as an actor, earning him recognition for his dramatic abilities. Peers like Alfred Hitchcock admired Grant's versatility, leading to a fruitful partnership that produced classics like North by Northwest. Critics noted that Grant's ability to embody both the suave hero and the vulnerable man set him apart in Hollywood. His performance in the Philadelphia Story earned him an Academy Award nomination, further affirming his impact on cinema. Throughout his career, Cary Grant's work resonated with audiences and critics alike, making him a timeless icon in the film industry. His legacy continues to influence actors and filmmakers, reflecting the enduring appeal of his performances and the groundbreaking nature of his roles. Cary Grant enjoyed performing on network radio. He liked taking on roles that were different from his usual movie characters. He once expressed his eagerness to return to the show's suspense by telling the producers, "Invite me back, invite me back, invite me back." His early career was not easy. As a young actor named Archie Leach, he faced criticism from a Paramount executive who said, "You're bow-legged, and your neck is far too thick." These comments could have discouraged him, but he continued to pursue his acting dreams. In one of his most famous roles, he played Roger Thornhill in North by Northwest. At 55, he felt hesitant to accept this part because he was older than the character. Despite his doubts, he delivered a memorable performance that showcased his talent. Grant's ability to adapt and take on various roles, whether on radio or in films, helped him become a legendary figure in Hollywood. His journey reflects resilience and a passion for acting that defined his career. Cary Grant's creative process was marked by a blend of charm, wit, and a deep understanding of human emotions. He approached his roles with a meticulous attention to detail, often immersing himself in the character's psyche to bring authenticity to his performances. Grant's unique style stemmed from his ability to balance comedic timing with dramatic depth, making him a versatile actor. His personal experiences, including a challenging childhood and a desire to escape his past, shaped his worldview and influenced the characters he portrayed. He often played sophisticated men who were both charming and vulnerable, reflecting his own struggles with identity and acceptance. This duality made his performances resonate with audiences. Grant's dedication to his craft involved extensive rehearsals and a willingness to collaborate with directors and co-stars, ensuring that every scene felt genuine. His legacy as a timeless icon in film continues to inspire actors and audiences alike, showcasing the power of vulnerability and elegance in storytelling. In Bringing Up Baby, Cary Grant plays David Huxley. In a memorable scene, when Aunt Elizabeth asks him why he is wearing a woman's dressing gown, he replies, "Because I just went gay all of a sudden?" This line is noted by film historians as one of the first uses of the word gay in its modern context in an American studio film. While the term had earlier meanings related to happiness, its association with homosexuality began to emerge in the 1920s. However, it did not become widely recognized as slang for homosexuality until the late 1960s. This particular line was not part of the original script. It was an ad-lib by Grant himself. In another scene from the same film, the moment when Susan's dress is ripped was inspired by a real-life incident involving Grant. He once experienced an embarrassing moment at the Roxy Theater when his pants zipper got caught on a woman's dress. After he followed her to explain, he shared this story with director Howard Hawks, who decided to include it in the film. In Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, Cary Grant portrays Jim Blandings. The film was popular enough to inspire a radio adaptation. On October 10, 1949, Lux Radio Theater broadcast a 60-minute version of the movie, with Cary Grant reprising his role. This adaptation allowed more audiences to enjoy his performance and the story's charm. Cary Grant's influence on the film industry is profound and lasting. His charm and elegance redefined the leading man in Hollywood, blending sophistication with a touch of humor. Grant's ability to seamlessly transition between comedy and drama set a new standard for actors, inspiring countless performers to embrace versatility. Industry experts often cite his work in films like North by Northwest and Bringing Up Baby as pivotal moments that showcased his unique talent. His impeccable timing and natural charisma influenced directors and writers to craft more complex, relatable characters. Many actors, including George Clooney and Hugh Jackman, have expressed admiration for Grant, noting how he set a benchmark for style and performance. His approach to character development encouraged a more nuanced storytelling technique, allowing for greater emotional depth in films. Grant's legacy is evident in the way modern cinema often blends genres, reflecting his mastery of both comedic and dramatic elements. His contributions continue to resonate, reminding filmmakers and audiences alike of the power of charm and authenticity in storytelling. He was offered the role of James Bond, but declined because he felt he was too old for the part. Cary Grant is known for his comedic timing and charm. In the film Bringing Up Baby, he played David Huxley, and humorously tells Mr. Peabody, "I will be with you in a minute 7 times." This repetition adds to the comedic chaos of the film, and showcases Grant's ability to handle comedy effectively. In Operation Petticoat, he took on the role of Lieutenant CM Dr. Matt T. Sherman. His personal life was also notable. He was once married to Barbara Hutton, an heiress to the Woolworth fortune. Hutton is the cousin of actress Dina Merrill. This connection highlights the intertwining of Hollywood's elite families during that era. Cary Grant's career spans several decades, and his performances continue to be remembered for their wit and style. Cary Grant enjoyed a rich personal life that reflected his values and interests outside of acting. He was known for his charm and elegance, which translated into his everyday interactions. Grant was deeply passionate about the arts, often attending theater performances and supporting fellow artists. His love for creativity extended beyond film, as he appreciated painting and literature, often seen with a book in hand. Philanthropy was also important to him. He supported various causes, including the arts and education, believing in the power of creativity to inspire and uplift individuals. Grant was involved with organizations that promoted the arts, helping young artists find their footing. His commitment to personal growth led him to explore different philosophies, including a keen interest in yoga, which he credited for his physical and mental well-being. These personal values shaped his work, allowing him to portray characters with depth and authenticity. His dedication to kindness and generosity resonated in his film roles, making him a beloved figure both on and off the screen. Cary Grant played Roger Adams in Penny Serenade, showcasing his talent in a dramatic role. Despite being one of the greatest comedic actors, he was nominated only twice for an Academy Award for Best Actor. His second nomination came 3 years later for None But the Lonely Heart. As a young actor, he shared a flat with Ballard Berkeley, which reflects his early struggles and connections in the industry. In Operation Petticoat, he portrayed Lieutenant Sam Dr. Matt T. Sherman. Tony Curtis, who admired Grant, based his Playboy character's voice in Some Like It Hot on him. This film, released 9 months before Operation Petticoat, was a tribute to Grant. It is interesting that Curtis ended up acting alongside Grant in the next film. However, it is unclear if Grant was aware of this homage during filming. Their interactions during this time remain a mystery, adding to the intrigue of their collaboration. Cary Grant left a lasting mark on the film industry with his charm, wit, and remarkable acting skills. He redefined the leading man, blending sophistication with a sense of humor that captivated audiences. His ability to shift between comedy and drama set a standard for versatility that many actors aspire to today. Grant's legacy is evident in the way modern actors approach their craft, often citing him as an inspiration for their own performances. Looking ahead, the future contributions to the industry should focus on storytelling that resonates with diverse audiences. Aspiring professionals should understand the importance of authenticity and emotional connection in their work. They should embrace the evolution of film and television using new platforms to tell compelling stories. Grant would advise newcomers to be patient and persistent, reminding them that success often comes from hard work and dedication. He would encourage them to study the craft, learn from the greats, and always strive for excellence, while also being true to themselves. Cary Grant played George Rose in the film Room for One More. During the making of this movie, he was married to Betsy Drake. This relationship influenced his performance and chemistry on screen. Many people associate Cary Grant with the famous line "Judy, Judy, Judy," but he never actually said it in any of his films. He attributes that line to Larry Storch. However, he did say Susan, Susan, Susan in the classic film Bringing Up Baby, which was released in 1938. In My Favorite Wife, Cary Grant took on the role of Nick Arden. This film marked the second of 3 movies where he starred alongside Irene Dunne. Their partnership was well received and contributed to the popularity of both actors during that era. Cary Grant's work in these films showcased his talent for blending humor with romance, making him a beloved figure in classic cinema. His ability to connect with audiences remains evident in these performances. From his early days in England to becoming a Hollywood icon, Cary Grant's journey was marked by a deep passion for acting and a desire to innovate. He captivated audiences with his charm, wit, and versatility, effortlessly transitioning between comedy and drama. His ability to portray complex characters with a light touch made him a beloved figure in cinema. Grant was not only a talented actor, but also a pioneer who pushed the boundaries of film. He worked with legendary directors like Alfred Hitchcock, creating timeless classics that still resonate today. His dedication to his craft inspired many aspiring actors, showcasing the importance of hard work and creativity. Grant's impact on the entertainment industry endures, as his films continue to be celebrated for their artistry and storytelling. His legacy reminds us that creativity, paired with perseverance, can lead to greatness and leave an indelible mark on the world. For A Scene in the Grass is Greener, Cary Grant refused to wear a smoking jacket. He believed that dressing in such a way would make him lose the audience's support. The director noted that this moment marked the end of an old style of comedy that never returned. In The Bishop's Wife, Cary Grant played Dudley. On May 11, 1953, Lux Radio Theater aired a 60-minute radio version of the film, with Grant reprising his role. In Night and Day, Cary Grant portrayed Cole Porter. About 1 hour and 33 minutes into the film, Monty Woolley visits Grant's character. Grant's character comments that if they had known Woolley was coming back, they would have included him in Cole Porter's new musical. Woolley humorously replies that he has been written into a new project called The Man Who Came to Dinner. This is amusing because Woolley played the lead in that film alongside Bette Davis in 1942. Cary Grant turned down the role of gunfighter Cherry Valance in Howard Hawks' Western Red River. This role was meant to be significant and was eventually given to John Ireland. In another project, Cary Grant played John Roby in To Catch a Thief. Filming took place in the summer of 1954, but the release was delayed because producers thought the age gap between him and Grace Kelly made their romance hard to believe. Despite this concern, when the film came out in 1955, it quickly became a major success. Alfred Hitchcock also sought Cary Grant for the lead in Spellbound, which was released in 1945. Grant's involvement with these films shows his influence and the choices he made in his career. His decisions shaped his legacy in Hollywood, highlighting both his talent and the complexities of his roles. Each project reflects the era's standards and the evolving nature of film. Cary Grant played Nick Arden in the film My Favorite Wife. This film was popular enough that on December 7, 1950, a 60-minute radio adaptation aired on Screen Directors Playhouse. Cary Grant and Irene Dunne returned to their roles, bringing the story to a new audience through radio. In another film, Grant took on the role of Andre Charvel in Susie. This film was significant for Grant because it showed him as an unlikable character, which was rare for him. He worked hard to maintain a positive screen image throughout his career. After the box office failure of The Howards of Virginia in 1940, Grant decided to avoid historical epics. He turned down all offers for such films until The Pride and The Passion in 1957, which also did not perform well. This decision reflected his desire to protect his image and choose roles that aligned with his established persona. Grant's choices in roles highlight his careful management of his career and public perception. Once, Cary Grant called hotel mogul Conrad Hilton while in Istanbul, Turkey. He wanted to know why his breakfast at the Plaza Hotel included only 1.5 English muffins instead of 2. The hotel explained that a report showed most guests only ate 3 of the 4 halves provided. Grant argued that he was still shorted a half muffin. His complaint led the Plaza Hotel to change its policy, and they began serving 2 whole muffins with breakfast. He later joked about starting an English muffin lovers society to track hotels and restaurants that serve fewer than 2 muffins. In his Girl Friday, while acting as Walter Burns, Grant's co-star, Rosalind Russell, felt she lacked good lines. To fix this, she hired an ad writer to create clever dialogue. Director Howard Hawks allowed for spontaneity, so the cast did not notice the changes. However, Grant suspected something was up, and greeted her each day with, "What have you got today?" During the filming of Bringing Up Baby, Cary Grant played David Huxley. RKO executives believed the film would fail commercially. They pressured Howard Hawks to add more romance and reduce the slapstick humor. They even asked him to take away Grant's glasses, but Hawks ignored their demands, trusting in the film's original vision. He gave his entire fee for the Philadelphia story to the British war effort. This act showed his commitment to helping during a difficult time. Cary Grant, known for his charm and talent, also had a practical side. While filming That Touch of Mink, he noticed an ad for a raincoat he thought would suit Doris Day. When he called the manufacturer, Norman Zeiler, to discuss it, Zeiler did not believe it was really Grant on the phone. He told Grant that if he wanted to see the collection, he had to come in person. Grant did just that. This was not unusual for him, as he often made his own calls and answered his home phone. Many people were surprised to find they were speaking to the real Cary Grant. His career included 4 films directed by Alfred Hitchcock. These films were Suspicion, Notorious, To Catch a Thief, and North by Northwest. Each film showcased his range as an actor, and his ability to work with one of the greatest directors in cinema history. In Topper, Cary Grant plays George Kirby, a character that brings a unique twist to the film's physical humor. Much of the comedy arises from his interactions with an invisible version of himself and Constance Bennett. The humor is enhanced by Roland Young, who portrays a character that reacts to these antics. Young's performance earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor, highlighting the film's clever use of comedy. In That Touch of Mink, Cary Grant takes on the role of Philip Shane. He encouraged Gig Young to expand his character, a financially unstable advisor obsessed with psychiatry. Grant's supportive nature allowed Young to feel comfortable, showing a mutual respect between the 2 actors. Despite dropping out of school at 14, Cary Grant was largely self-taught. He maintained a strong passion for reading throughout his life, which contributed to his growth as an actor and individual. This dedication to learning helped shape his career and his roles in film. Cary Grant played Nick Arden in the film My Favorite Wife, where he famously wore a leopard print bathrobe for much of the last third of the movie. This choice of attire is notable because 2 years earlier, he starred in Bringing Up Baby, which featured a leopard as a central character. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Cary Grant maintained a full head of hair throughout his career. He never went bald and did not wear a toupee. When his hair started to gray in the 1950s, he dyed it back to its original black. After retiring from acting in the 1960s, he stopped dyeing his hair, and by the time of his passing, it had turned completely white. In Bringing Up Baby, where he played David Huxley, the film was recognized as the 14th funniest comedy of all time on the AFI 100 Funniest Comedies list. This film also stands out as the highest-rated comedy featuring both Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn, highlighting their successful partnership in cinema. Alfred Hitchcock initially wanted Cary Grant to play a publisher in the film Rope. Montgomery Clift was to play Brandon. However, the real-life homosexual relationship between Leopold and Loeb, and the similar connection between the characters in the film, made both actors hesitant. They decided to avoid the project to protect their careers from potential backlash. Cary Grant also starred as Walter Burns in the film His Girl Friday. The Screen Guild Theater produced a 30-minute radio adaptation of this movie on March 30, 1941. In this adaptation, Grant and Rosalind Russell returned to their roles, showcasing their chemistry and talent. In Once Upon a Time, Cary Grant played Jerry Flynn. A notable scene features him descending a spiral staircase. As he goes down, the staircase turns clockwise. When the scene shifts to the room below, the staircase appears to turn counterclockwise. This visual trick adds an interesting layer to the film's storytelling. Initially, Cary Grant turned down Stanley Donen's offer to star in Charade. He later recognized that the role was significant and accepted it, but he had one condition: Audrey Hepburn had to pursue him in the film, not the other way around. In That Touch of Mink, Grant's presence had a strong effect on those around him. Audrey Meadows' housekeeper, Pat Schofield, was eager to meet him. She often waited in Meadows' dressing room, asking the makeup man and hairdresser to prepare her in case Grant appeared. One day, Meadows mentioned Schofield to Grant, who then requested to meet her. The encounter left Schofield nearly fainting with excitement after he left the room. Grant also had a personal touch that reflected his relationships. He wore a gold chain around his neck with 3 charms. Each charm represented the religion of his former wives as St. Christopher for Virginia Cherrill, a small cross for Barbara Hutton, and Betsy Drake, and a Star of David for Diane Cannon. This detail showed his respect and connection to each of them. Gave serious thought to retiring in 1953. Cary Grant felt that the rise of Marlon Brando and method acting made his style of acting outdated. However, after 18 months, he returned to film with To Catch a Thief in 1955. This decision pushed his retirement back to 1966. In An Affair to Remember, he played Nicky Ferrante. This film was the first of 2 remakes of Love Affair, which originally starred Charles Boyer and Irene Dunne. Both versions were directed by Leo McCarey. Grant had previously worked with Irene Dunne in The Awful Truth, also directed by McCarey. The second remake, Love Affair, came out in 1994 and featured a cameo by Katharine Hepburn. Grant co-starred with Hepburn in several films, including Bringing Up Baby, Holiday, and The Philadelphia Story. In North by Northwest, Grant played Roger Thornhill. Donna Douglas made her film debut in this movie. She appeared briefly in the opening scene, walking past Grant and Doreen Lang. Her moment on screen lasted 7 seconds, showcasing her early career. Hitchcock seemed to highlight her presence, as he often appreciated beautiful women in his films. Alfred Hitchcock had a vision for his film Torn Curtain in 1966. He wanted Cary Grant for the lead role. However, Grant felt he was too old for the part and declined the offer. This decision did not stop Hitchcock from pursuing Grant for other projects. While working on Vertigo in 1958, Hitchcock discussed the plot of North by Northwest with James Stewart, another frequent collaborator. Stewart assumed he would play Roger Thornhill, the main character. He was eager to take the role. Hitchcock, however, intended to cast Grant. Realizing the mix-up too late, Hitchcock delayed production until Stewart committed to another film. This allowed him to officially offer the role to Grant, who was his first choice all along. On the set of North by Northwest, which featured the iconic MT Rushmore scene, Eva Marie Saint discovered that Cary Grant charged fans 15 cents for his autograph. This practice highlighted the unique relationship Grant had with his fans, balancing his celebrity status with a touch of humor and accessibility. Grant's legacy in film continues to be significant, marked by his collaborations with directors like Hitchcock and his memorable roles that shaped classic cinema. Cary Grant played Dick Nugent in The Bachelor and The Bobby Soxer. On May 10, 1948, the Screen Guild Theater aired a 30-minute radio adaptation of the movie. Grant was joined by Myrna Loy and Shirley Temple, who reprised their roles from the film. This adaptation allowed audiences to enjoy the story in a different format, showcasing the talents of these well-known actors. In North by Northwest, Cary Grant portrayed Roger Thornhill. During the filming, Martin Landau observed Alfred Hitchcock directing Grant, James Mason, and Eva Marie Saint. Landau learned that when Hitchcock spoke to actors, it often meant something was wrong. If Hitchcock did not engage with them, it meant they were performing well. This insight highlighted the unique working relationship between the director and his actors. Cary Grant also starred as Dudley in The Bishop's Wife. On March 1, 1948, the Screen Guild Theater broadcast a 3-minute radio adaptation of this film. Grant was again joined by Loretta Young and David Niven, allowing fans to reconnect with the characters and story through this brief radio presentation. The adaptations and the behind-the-scenes moments from these films illustrate Cary Grant's significant impact on classic cinema. In The Awful Truth, Cary Grant plays Jerry Warrener. At a party hosted by his fiancée, Irene Dunne mentions that he was called Jerry the Nipper because he enjoyed drinking. This nickname resurfaces in Bringing Up Baby, where Katharine Hepburn refers to him as a mobster named Jerry the Nipper while speaking to a constable. Grant's role in these films showcases his charm and comedic timing. In Topper, Cary Grant portrays George Kirby. Hal Roach, the producer, wanted Grant for the part, but faced challenges in convincing him due to the film's supernatural elements. Roach assured Grant that the screwball comedy aspects would be emphasized. This promise, along with a substantial fee of $50,000, persuaded Grant to take on the role, which became a memorable part of his career. On February 8, 1960, Cary Grant was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 1610 Vine St. This recognition marked his significant contributions to the film industry and solidified his status as a beloved actor. His performances in various films left a lasting impact on audiences and the world of cinema. When Cary Grant played Dick Nugent in The Bachelor and The Bobby Soxer, he was 42 years old. At that time, Shirley Temple was 18 and had been married for 10 months. Their age difference was notable, but it did not affect their on-screen chemistry. In another film, Cary Grant starred as Philip Shane in That Touch of Mink. During filming, a conflict arose between him and Doris Day. Both actors preferred their right profiles for close-ups. Since they could not both be accommodated, Grant chose to concede to Day. She later described this situation as an awkward impasse. In Night and Day, Cary Grant portrayed Cole Porter. He showcased his talent by performing his own vocals in this film. This added authenticity to his character and demonstrated his range as an actor. Grant's ability to adapt and collaborate with his co-stars contributed to his success in Hollywood. His performances continue to be appreciated by audiences today. During the filming of Topper, Cary Grant played the character George Kirby. The special effects scenes were the easiest part for him and Constance Bennett. They simply had to record their lines, while special effects artists created the illusion of objects moving on their own, such as fountain pens and lace panties. Cary Grant's work in comedy is notable. He has 8 films listed among the 100 funniest movies by the American Film Institute. These include Bringing Up Baby, The Philadelphia Story, His Girl Friday, Arsenic, and Old Lace, Topper, The Awful Truth, Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, and She Done Him Wrong. In Charade, Cary Grant portrayed Peter Joshua. Many viewers mistakenly think this film was directed by Alfred Hitchcock due to its suspenseful nature and plot twists. However, Hitchcock had no involvement in the film's production. This has led fans to call it the best Hitchcock film Hitchcock never made. Cary Grant's ability to blend humor with suspense in his roles has left a lasting impact on cinema. Often, Cary Grant played characters who were younger than his real age. For example, he was 50 years old when he filmed To Catch a Thief, yet he portrayed a character who was only 34. This ability to take on younger roles contributed to his charm and appeal in many films. In addition to his acting, Grant had a role in his friends' lives. He introduced Frederick Brisson to Rosalind Russell, who later became his wife. Grant also stood by Brisson as his best man during their marriage. In The Awful Truth, Cary Grant starred as Jerry Warner alongside Irene Dunne. They had never met before filming, but their chemistry was immediate. Dunne described Grant as a very generous actor, and they seemed to connect right away. She trusted his comedic timing so much that after each take, she would lean in and ask him if it was funny. Grant responded positively, saying, "We just clicked." This partnership showed how well they worked together, making their performances memorable. When his daughter Jennifer Grant was born, Cary Grant gave his wife Diane Cannon a diamond and sapphire bracelet as a keepsake. This gesture highlighted his affection and commitment to his family. In the film Houseboat, Cary Grant played Tom Winters, a father struggling to manage 3 children. Interestingly, in real life, he did not have his first child until he was 62 years old, 8 years after the film was released, with his 4th wife, Diane Cannon. This contrast between his on-screen role and real life shows the complexity of his character as both an actor and a person. In another notable role, Cary Grant starred as Devlin in Alfred Hitchcock's film Notorious alongside Ingrid Bergman. Hitchcock's choice of Grant for this role emphasized his ability to portray strong and complicated characters. Cary Grant's work in these films reflects his range as an actor and his personal life choices. In 1968, Cary Grant and Michael Caine were walking together when a fan approached them. The fan recognized Caine but did not know who Grant was. After a brief conversation, the fan remarked on how accommodating today's film stars are with the public. Grant nodded in agreement, showing his understanding of the changing dynamics between actors and fans. Cary Grant played Cole Porter in the film Night and Day. Critics at the time noted that Grant seemed uncomfortable in this role. They felt he did not fully capture the essence of the famous composer. This performance received mixed reviews, highlighting the challenges Grant faced in portraying such a complex character. In North by Northwest, Cary Grant took on the role of Roger Thornhill. A notable aspect of this film was the New York Central 20th Century Limited railcar, named Imperial State. Built in 1939, it featured luxurious accommodations and was scrapped in 1968. The interior of the railcar shown in the movie was actually a set created by MGM Studios. When Grant closed the door, viewers could see that the wall moved slightly, revealing that it was made of plywood painted to look like metal. This detail illustrates the clever production techniques used in classic films. Douglas Fairbanks was Cary Grant's boyhood idol. Fairbanks' tan inspired Grant's own dark skin, which became a part of his image. In his career, Grant starred as Peter Joshua in the film Charade, where he worked alongside Audrey Hepburn. Hepburn had a habit of smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day, a routine she kept from 1959 until her last illness. Grant also smoked heavily, matching Hepburn's habit with 3 packs a day for over 30 years. However, he quit smoking while filming An Affair to Remember in 1957. This film marked one of his notable roles as Nicky Ferrante. It was the second of 3 movies he made with Deborah Kerr. Their on-screen chemistry contributed to the film's success and showcased Grant's range as an actor. His decision to quit smoking during this time reflected a shift in his personal life as well as his commitment to his health and career. Grant's legacy includes his iconic performances and influence on film. In North by Northwest, Cary Grant plays Roger Thornhill. When Martin Landau's character first sees him, he remarks, "He's a well-tailored one." This comment highlights Grant's sharp appearance. Interestingly, all of Landau's suits in the film were made by Grant's personal tailor, showing the actor's influence on the film's style. In 1958, Grant starred and said Indiscreet, which he considered his personal favorite film. This film stands out in his career for its blend of humor and romance. Later, in People Will Talk, Grant takes on the role of Dr. Noah Pretorius. At the time of filming, Grant was 47 years old but portrayed a character who was 42. Gene Crane, who played opposite him, was 26. This age difference did not detract from their on-screen chemistry. Cary Grant's ability to connect with younger co-stars contributed to his lasting appeal in Hollywood. His performances remain memorable, showcasing his talent and charm. Cary Grant played Jeff Carter in Only Angels Have Wings. This role showcased his ability to portray complex characters with depth. In another notable performance, he took on the role of Mortimer Brewster in Arsenic and Old Lace. On Broadway, Alan Jocelyn played Mortimer, but in the film, Grant received top billing for his performance. In the original stage version, Boris Karloff was the star as Jonathan Brewster. In That Touch of Mink, Cary Grant played Philip Shane. He had strong opinions about the film's details, which is not surprising given his status. He owned the production company behind the film, allowing him to influence many aspects. For example, he found the brass door knobs with emerald stones on his office set too flashy. Filming was paused while they searched for replacements, but they eventually painted over the knobs to continue. Additionally, he suggested that Doris Day's wardrobe should be more modest. He recommended she wear clothes designed by Anne Klein, though Klein was not credited for her work in the film. Cary Grant had a preference for Acqua di Parma as his aftershave. This choice reflected his attention to personal grooming and style. In the film Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, Grant played the character Jim Blandings. This movie was the third collaboration between Cary Grant and Myrna Loy, following their earlier films Wings in the Dark and The Bachelor and The Bobby Soxer. In Night and Day, Cary Grant portrayed the famous songwriter Cole Porter. When a friend of Porter learned that Grant would play him in the film, he questioned why Porter did not object, noting that Grant did not resemble him. The friend suggested that Fred Astaire, who looked more like Porter, could have been a better choice. Porter's response highlighted his admiration for Grant, stating that if filmmakers wanted Cary Grant to play him, he would not complain. This exchange shows the respect and recognition Grant had in the industry, as well as the impact of his performances on audiences and peers alike. Cary Grant remains one of the most iconic figures in film history, known for his charm, wit, and timeless performances. Many remember him for his roles in classic films like North by Northwest and The Philadelphia Story, where he showcased his remarkable ability to blend comedy with drama. His smooth voice and elegant demeanor made him a favorite among audiences and critics alike. Grant's legacy is not just in the films he made but also in how he changed the perception of leading men in Hollywood. He brought a new level of sophistication and complexity to his characters, often portraying men who were both suave and vulnerable. His influence can still be seen in modern actors who strive to capture that same blend of charm and depth. As we reflect on his contributions to cinema, it is essential to consider how his work continues to inspire filmmakers and actors today. We invite you to share your thoughts on Cary Grant's work and legacy in the comments. If you enjoyed this discussion, please like, share, and subscribe for more content celebrating the creative spirits shaping entertainment.